What's up, desktoppers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video, and we have a ton of bodybuilding news stories to get to today, including Kai Green's new podcast and a physique update, Callum Vermoga 8 weeks out from his classic physique comeback, Breon Ansley versus Chris Bumstead. We have physique updates from both of those guys as they prepare for the 2020 Classic Physique Olympia, and 23-year-old bodybuilding phenom Vitaly Ugolnikov looking insane. We had an update the other day, but this one is on another level, and I think you guys will be blown away by this. And we have a bunch of other news stories as well. So let's get into it. Also, I want to mention, if you guys want to skip to any news stories or skip over any, including Kai Green one, which I know a lot of people are over Kai Green, there's timestamps in the description as well. So I'm putting that up for most videos, unless it's just the story I do is just one story in a video or something. So there are timestamps in every video, so make sure you check out those. It's just under the description. So let's get into it. So Kuwait bodybuilder updates. We have updates from Rolly Winkler and Brandon Curry, who are out in Kuwait training for that 2020 Mr. Olympia. And here's one from Rolly Winkler where his tricep just looks insane. We know it's pretty much always going to look insane, but he looks a little bit thicker than his last physique update 1 to 2 weeks ago, where he looks great. I thought he looked great. And then I sort of compared it to his older Magic Mirror pictures, so pictures from that same mirror and past Olympia preps, and he looked a little bit downsized, to be honest with you guys. Even though he did look absolutely insane still, he was a little bit downsized, but he's still got 10 weeks. And a lot of these guys do grow into the Olympia as well as their, compounds and all that sort of stuff changes. So I'm not too worried about Rolly Winkler, but looking forward to seeing how he does at the Olympia, if he's at his best or a little bit off it. Brandon Curry looking very, very good. And we've seen a bunch of photos come out from Brandon Curry's camp, and he's looking just sensational, preparing for that Mr. Olympia defense. And he hasn't really had a full run at being a normal Mr. Olympia with this whole COVID-19 thing. So I'm excited for him and excited to see if he can repeat as Mr. Olympia against great bodybuilders like Phil Heath, Lex Lewis, William Bonac, and a bunch of others as well. Also on that, Brandon Curry has actually released, or his team at least, have released a Beefcake t-shirt. So he's leaning into that whole, I suppose, nickname that's been made up for him by the bodybuilding community, because that was put out in a Phil Heath article. If you don't know about the whole beefcake thing and him being called a beefcake, check out one of my most recent videos. I don't know if it was the last one or the one before, but it's basically about Brandon Curry being called a beefcake. And whether it's by Phil Heath or his team or the writer of the article, regardless, it's funny. So if you do want to purchase a Brandon Curry beefcake t-shirt, the link is in the description. So jump on that. I reckon that'd be pretty funny to get. Now, our next story, Kai Green has a new podcast. It's called Getting It Done with Kai Green, and he's actually released an intro clip as well on iTunes, so I'll play that now for you guys.
It's your boy, Kai Green, aka Mr. Getting It Done. I'm excited to share with you my new podcast with the Direct Message Network. We'll explore what it takes to be the best in all areas of our lives: fitness, lifestyle and diet, achieving personal goals, connecting with others. I want us to explore together the power of mindset. Thoughts become things. We'll break it down on how to get your head in the game and how to wake up every day inspired, ready to conquer. And we'll talk about how to get over some of those mental roadblocks. I'm going to bring on my good friends and mentors, people who inspire me, so we can learn together. We'll have on celebrities, leading experts, and hopefully some of you out there listening right now. So please subscribe, follow, leave your boy a 5-star review. Let's go on this journey together. We have a lot of work to do. Let's get it done.
So there it is, directly from Kai Green and the Getting It Done with Kai Green podcast. Also, he actually released this video the other day. Extremely strange, which is not unusual for Kai Green, but if this is his current physique, he looks sensational. And a bunch of other photos I've seen with him with his teeth fixed, which it's going to be a somewhat recent video, he looks really good. Like, he just maintains a good level of conditioning his off season. He stays big, really big too. Not just like, a Jay Cutler big post competitive days, but he maintains almost that Olympia level size. I mean, he's probably bigger than a lot of guys that do the Olympia still. So I'm not sure why he stays so big, or if he has to take a lot to actually stay that big. I mean, if he had to take a lot, you don't think he would, but he's an absolute genetic freak, so he's probably on maybe a lowish dose for him, at least anyway, and is maintaining just a great physique. So credit to Kai Green. And why do you guys think he stays so big? Do you think we'll ever see a comeback? Do you think he's still got that fire in his belly to come back, or do you think he's doing so well business-wise and everything to do that? So let me know in the comments below on that. Next story, Justin Rodriguez, 1 week out from the Chicago Pro, and he's probably going into this show as one of the favorites. It's a really good lineup, but it's very even, and we've seen that a lot through these shows recently. Because, from 1st to 7th or 8th, we're seeing these guys be pretty even in a lot of shows, like the New York Pro, the Cali Pro, and whatnot as well. So excited to see how Justin does. He's currently 5th on points in the point standing. You have to be top 3 to qualify for the Olympia, but if he gets a 2nd or a 3rd, he's going to get enough points to bump him into that top 3, most likely. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Justin Rodriguez looks on stage. And that was posted up by Bodybuilders Without Borders. Might have been posted by someone before that, but that's who I actually saw it from. Now, John De La Rosa, 270 pounds currently in this photo that he just posted up, which is insane because he's not an overly tall guy. I find it hilarious when people say he should do 212 because it's just so not realistic when he probably competes around 230, 235 or something. And he's looking to actually put on more weight than this and really bump up his calories and get bigger, as he says in the photo. So I'm looking forward to seeing what John De La Rosa brings in 2021. He said he's going back to that heavy style of training instead of the more reps and things like that as well. So I can't wait to see what John De La Rosa brings to the stage in 2021, because he has said openly that he wants to be like a top 6 Olympia guy and be right up there. So let me know if you guys think that John De La Rosa can reach those levels, or do you think John De La Rosa will, maybe not finish in the top 10 of the Olympia? Let me know in the comments below. Now, our next physique update is on 23-year-old bodybuilding phenom Vitaly Ugolnikov. Now, I featured him the other day, as I mentioned at the start of this video, and he looks insane. And I said he's about 4 weeks out of those Russian championships. And it's about 3 weeks actually now, or a little bit less, maybe 2.5 weeks. And he looks absolutely insane in this back video. It's got a filter and stuff all over it, but my God, he is huge. If he comes in condition, man, he looks like an IFBB pro bodybuilder. But my understanding is that he may be competing in the IFBB Elite League, I think, because that's what actually 2 people said that under the last video I did where I featured him. And it does say the Russian Championships and the World Cup in Spain. I believe the World Cup is typically under that federation as well. So I think that he'll be probably doing the IFBB Elite, but I'd love to see him in the IFBB Pro ranks, because I think that he'd be a legit contender, whether it's now or in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. He has huge potential, this guy. So I can't wait to see what he looks like, at least in this federation as well, and then maybe eventually in the IFBB Pro League and on the Olympia stage. So let me know what you think the future holds for Vitaly Ugolnikov. So next story, Callum Von Moger, fellow Aussie living in the US, competing in 8 weeks' time, he said. He's making his comeback, and I actually did some maths and tried to figure out which comp this would actually be in, because he competes with the MPC and is doing classic physique. And I believe it might be the Governor's Cup, which is in LA. I believe he still lives in LA. And then the USAs are actually a week or 2 later. So I'm wondering if, someone who's not an American citizen, maybe he is now, I don't know, but if he can actually do the USAs or not, or if that's his plan. So if you know anything about that, let me know in the comments down below. But let me know how you think Callum's looking, because I think he looks really good, but it's just whether that quad is going to be fully fixed, because for those who don't know, he did tear his quad. I'm not sure how long ago it was, maybe 1.5 years, 2 years. And he's been rehabbing that, and he's had a torn bicep as well, where he's doing that curl with Chris Bumstead. He's had, a lot of injuries, and he actually re-tore that bicep when he did jump down the cliff and tore his quad at the same time as well. So he's been in the wars, a lot of it, through his own sort of, I wouldn't say stupidity, because it's the stuff that some people do, but maybe being slightly careless and with himself. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he does. Let me know how you think he'll do in the comments below, and can he actually turn pro, even with that turned quad, and maybe compete at the Olympia one day. Next update, Chris Bumstead looking absolutely awesome. I think that he looks really good. His arms are typically known as his weak point, as well as his back. His arms look pretty damn good in this photo to me. And we have updates from Breon Ansley. So these posts went up on his story, and he's looking absolutely awesome. And it leads to the question, can Breon Ansley actually win his title back from Chris Bumstead? Because there's people out there saying that, they've made the decision that they're going with the sort of look of Chris Bumstead. But we've got to remember, Chris Bumstead was at his best at last year's Olympia, but also Breon Ansley was too. And Breon Ansley, I thought he improved dramatically. And now that he's actually lost the title, I think that he's going to be doing everything he can to look as good as possible. And looks like he's added some size. So he's going to have to really suffer and be in insane conditioning to actually make weight in that classic physique class. So let me know what you think. Can Breon Ansley win his title back from Chris Bumstead? Or like some people are saying, have they made the decision with the sort of look they want to go for in the classic physique class? So that's it for our news stories on this video, guys. If you guys like and appreciate this content, please give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up for myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding, including coverage of this weekend's Europa Pro Championships in Alicante, Spain. So make sure you do subscribe and hit that notification bell button. Also, if you want to support this channel, head to hostile.com, HOSSTILE.com, enter XAV10. It's XAV10. You save yourself 10% on some amazing supplements. And I say it every time, but literally just check out their ingredients lists. They are insane, the products. Also, their stuff is quality. They're all their apparel, so make sure you do check it out and support Fuad Abiad and myself, obviously, with that as well, as I get a little kickback from that. So that's it for another video for Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding. We are out.